Nobody's on here. Okay, y'all, I'm back. Apparently the audio was bad, so I'm just gonna talk about Coolio again. In this country, 59 years old, Leo, Sagittarius moon, Virgo rising, Libra in the first house, Mars in Libra on the ascendant. Talking to myself. Hi. I was talking to myself because I had to turn it on. I don't know where I was waiting for people to come on, but I don't know where my other thing went. How is everybody? I'm back. Can you hear me okay now? Because if you can, I'm just going to call it quits for the night. Can everybody hear me? Can y'all hear me? Yeah, you can. I'm back. Mew Mew's right there. She's been whining like a kitty. She's so pissed because I'm late for her. This is usually when we play. So she's like, I'm mad. Anyway, getting back to it, again, I'm going to ask California State Lottery, the school system, all of that. What are you doing with your money in the impoverished neighborhoods, in the project neighborhoods, in the black areas? What are you doing with the school money that you have to come beg to parents? You got to have school teachers begging to parents for supplies that your taxpayers are paying for. That's some fuckery. And why the school teachers don't petition against the superintendent of the school district, I don't know. And I don't know why they go begging for teachers. It's not my job to facilitate your business that you get pensions for and all of that. Yes, I want you to teach my kids maybe, but you know, not necessarily, right? To get on and do, I need to know, I get as much as I want to get on and do a reading. Why are you trying to judge what I make? What I'm saying to you is, when you're a government entity, I don't work for the government. I work for myself. So I'll charge whatever the fuck I want. You don't have to have my service. All right? But if you're a government entity lying to your taxpayers and your constituents about the money that you're taking and what you're doing with it, and you're pocketing it, and then you're getting your employees. Remember, school teachers in public schools are government employees, okay? So you're getting your government employees to beg for whatever, pencils, pens, or whatever, right? Thank you, Tristan. Thank you. You're getting them to beg for that. You have an obligation to do what you said with the money that you took from us, the taxpayers, because we're the ones working for it. It's actually our money going to our public school system, and you're lying about it. So me personally, I don't work for the government. I don't take from the government. I don't ask from the government. Got it? So if I don't take shit from the government, I don't need you to say how much. Go on my website and look at my pricing. And if you don't like my pricing, don't make a judgment about what I make, because you're not going to keep me down in the public sector. That's why I'm in the public sector. That's why I do shit myself, so that I don't have to listen to people like you or people in the school system that are full of shit. You don't need to be asking parents for pencils and pens. I understand that they do because they don't have them, but that responsibility falls on the local district politician, Gavin Newsom, and the superintendent of the school district, who's taking all of the lottery money and doing what with it? What is being done with it? Why do I have a teacher saying, fucking, I need pencils and pens? That's your problem. Take your job, put your mouth on the line for your work. Yeah, exactly. I know, being a teacher, it is very hard, but if you're going to take money and you're not going to speak up because you don't want to jeopardize your job, you're a coward. If you work in the school system, step up and ask your superintendent and Newsom where the money went from the lottery money. You as a school teacher, if you're afraid to lose your job because you've been in the 9-to-5 pension and you're bought and paid for by the government, that's on you. Don't put that on me. I'm not saying you don't work hard. I'm saying it's not my job to facilitate props for your job where you get a pension and you get paid time off and you get that. I don't get that. I have to work day to day. If I don't work, I don't make money. And I don't work hard enough to save. And there's no pension for me, and I don't have health insurance. And I'm not required to get paid while I'm sick. I have to work while I'm sick, okay? So there's that, right? What's that about? So the school system actually needs, at this point, to facilitate, yeah, but they get taxpayer money, you understand? They get, it's no, school teachers are bullies where they go, we work hard and we do this. I don't care. Everybody works hard. Who doesn't fucking work hard? You think the chick at McDonald's doing your fries isn't working hard? She's working harder than any of us because she has to listen to your dumb, drunk, high ass as you go through the drive-thru at midnight going, I want some fries with that. And you fuck with her over $4 fries. And she doesn't even make $15 an hour. She smells like grease. She's probably got 2 kids and has to live with 2 roommates. She works fucking hard too, okay? Everybody works hard. Yeah, no one gets, who gets summers off? And they still bitch about not making enough money. In California, they make upwards of $45,000 to $70,000 in California, depending, I think, I've heard both, and don't quote me on it. Let's see how much a school teacher makes. But here's my point. I don't give a fuck what they make. Go do your job. But because you take a payout for a pension that you have to work till you're 55 to get, and because you work as a mouthpiece for the superintendent in the school department and Newsom as a government employee, that's your problem. Don't ask me for pencils. And I'm serious. Don't fucking ask me for that. I told you I got in huge scraps with my kids' middle school when I moved into this area because they wanted me to fill out something that I needed lunches. I don't want the school's lunches. I don't want the school getting money for my kids who don't need it because I take care of my own kids. That's what I do. You go ahead and bum your money. I don't want your free lunches. I don't eat like that. My kids probably, I know Keith took Michael Wong's food voucher and got in trouble for it. I'm like, don't fucking do that, Keithy. But it's ridiculous. I know. I don't bring my kids supplies to school. You, the government, do it. And my kids still graduated with honors, both of them, and they were never in school. That shows you how much the school system cares. Both. And guess what? The jobs that my kids got in life are through their own ability to work. Jason's really strong, charismatic, good personality. That's how he got a job. I know Keith loved to take the lunch vouchers. Keith loved that. Well, Keith was such a big boy. He had to eat everything. But the point is, school pizza was good though. Yeah, no, I'm not saying don't eat it, but I don't need anything from the government. That's how they have us rigged. If you take from the government, if you take from them, you owe them. Never owe anybody. Young women, absolutely 100%. Earn your own money, even if you're the chick at the drive-through at the McDonald's, window. You're working for yourself. You are working for yourself. You are not the government's bitch. Therefore, you don't have to take a badge in the side of the shoulder, which is like sucking dick to keep your job. And you don't have to go around begging to your students to get equipment, which should be supplied by the school, okay? Should be supplied by the school. So the way that they trick everybody is like you need to work 9 to 5. That's why they have your kids in school. By ideal, your kids should be taken out of school and go on field trips with you and learn about the world. Any moron can learn to read and write. And I'm being serious. Teach a 4-year-old ABC. They have books. Are you telling me what does school teach you? Grammar? Nobody knows grammar anymore. That's why they have spell check. Spell check. And just to give you an example, I have no education, okay? I left at 9th grade. No education, none whatsoever. Everything that I've done is self-taught. I mean, I learned how to read and write, obviously. I could never sit still in school. Anyway, long story short, at 16, as I'm lisping, this comes out tomorrow, y'all. At 16, I was a published newspaper writer, okay? And the joke by my mother, the bitch, was always like, you can't spell. You think you're going to get anywhere not spelling? Yes, I do. They have editors for stories. I have the creative and people work to edit my words. Yes, now it's called spell check. You can do it yourself. So I was a published writer, author at 16 for newspapers, okay, while being a stripper, while working in the bar. You can do whatever you want. This education bullshit's ridiculous. What is your skill? I want everybody to start. Yes, copy editors. You think they let anything go out there? You think the people in school going your grammars off? If you're hired to write, they just want your mind, what you're thinking, and put it on paper, and they can go around there and they edit it all the time. Okay? Okay. So Get off of that concept. Other than that, what are you learning in English? How to put a sentence together? That you can teach yourself. You can teach your kids. And I'm not getting your pencils. I would never do those luncheons or work for the school. No, there probably is a school for strippers. I didn't go to that school. I just jumped on a stage. I put on a bikini and a G-string and jumped on a fucking stage. I put on a little coochie skirt, that was about this thick. It was a belt, really. And I jumped on a stage. Whatever. So I don't understand why people take so seriously. Oh, thank you, Nola girl. Thank you for that. I don't understand why people act like teachers have the hardest job. Obviously, you got 40 kids. No one wants to be teaching 40 kids. I get that. But who told you to go get that job? You wanted that job because you wanted to do a quick pro quo, okay? And I'm saying it wrong again, so don't quote me on that because that's the way I say it, all right? So it's whatever it is. Anyway, you wanted to take a buyout. You want a pension. So you want to work 9 to 5 your whole life. And you want to get that pension when you're 60, probably too old to get it. And you want medical care when you don't really need to think like that. That's on you, not me. So my taxes pay for my kids to go to school in the public school system. That's what my taxes pay for. Okay. That's what they pay for. That's what my family's taxes pay for. That's what we pay for. So stop acting like you're doing me a fucking favor by teaching my kids. Get out of your job. You are not doing me a favor, all right? You chose the job. The school says, I like teachers. Yeah, there are teachers who make a difference. I'm not saying there aren't. Yes, we get burnout as strippers. Yes. Yeah, we do. Yes, real estate, everything to fund school. So why are you asking the kids' parents for shit like you're trying to, you know why? I'll tell you exactly why. Because when we walk into Best Buy, we walk into Ralph's, every time you use your money, some cocksucking, excuse my language, can't help it, mother of a corporation is like, do you want to donate to the kids? No, I don't. Your CEO, the head of your school system, you need to donate to those kids. You need to, you're exactly right. Stripping is energy work 100%, little sunshine, 100%. Because it's working with the dysfunction of both the strippers who were sexually abused 9 out of 10 times. Don't come for me. I worked enough in it. I worked with enough strippers. And 40 something years ago, hard to say. Wait, 42 years ago, I was a stripper for 10 years, okay? Oh my God. That's how old I am. It's really hard to think about that. Anyway, when you're looking at it, stripping is energetic work because the men that go into those clubs, okay, Coolio died today. The men that go into those clubs are misogynistic. They're in the patriarchy. They don't think much of women, okay? I made bank back in the day. I did. I made $2,000 just to do 3 sets in a day. And I worked the 10. I will never work nights except in Florida. Okay? Because the club didn't open till 10:30 at night and it closed at 4. But in California, I work the day shift where the ugly girls go. Yes, I know teachers are part of the union. Go against the union and tell them to get our tax money and pay. Don't come bugging me like a jackass for money because your school system and your union doesn't fucking do what it's supposed to do. I don't care they're part of the union. What is that, special? Like, oh, you're in the union, it's special. Okay, the Teamsters, the Mafia, great, that's nice. The Thugs, nice. Okay, we call them pimps in the neighborhood. So whatever you want to say, they put a legal, name to it. But anyway, when I worked in California, I worked 10 to like 4 because I like to go to the gym. I like to get my work day done during the day. I'm not a night worker. I don't drink, I don't smoke. So I had to be out of the clubs with all the fuck ups. I might go on from 7 to 9. When I first moved to California, I jumped clubs and did the, every Thursday night they had a dance contest and all the strippers from everywhere else would come in and they would win the cash that all the clients put up on the table. So you could go out of there with a couple of grand. That's what I would do. So I didn't have to stick to a schedule. Okay? I don't want to work like people tell me I got to work. I don't believe in it. I work the way I work and I choose to work. That's why I'm one person working for myself. I don't do what you want me to do and you're not going to get me fired from my job because I am my job. So anyway, point is, the stripping back in the day was very good. Yeah. So I had to do 3 sets. A set is included of 3 songs, so 3 minutes, 4 minutes, so say 12-minute set. I had to do that 3 times a day to make $2,000 when I started. And yes, I was 14, all right? No one checked my age. I came in with the ID. That was before Tracy Lords. When I was 20, Tracy Lords got busted. Jim South was my manager in LA. I got interviewed by the police, but I wasn't underage. I was 20. So they did come because they found all my nude pictures there because I was doing that. I was going in that direction in my life. So that's where I was going. That's the kind of shit that happens. Anyway, my point is, these are all choices. It's just really funny to think about that. Having said that, why do we take so much pride on if you go to university, if you go to college, if you even graduate high school? Why is there so much pride in that? Because most people have skills and abilities that come from, yeah, he was found on the bathroom floor. Did I say did I say that? Anyway, he's 59. He actually looked like he might have been diabetic to me. So he could have had some like kidney issues, diabetic, high blood pressure. You can have a heart attack at 59. My mother had a heart attack, birth mother at 59. So she was 59. Anyway, my point is, when you walk into Best Buy, Ralph's, wherever, okay, were you scared? No, I wasn't scared, which is weird. I could not understand what the fuss was about my naked body. I was too young to understand that it was a sexual thing, which sounds really fucking weird, but I was so detached from what I was doing that I didn't understand what I was doing. Like, I knew I'm naked, but I'm naked. I'm like, I don't give a shit. You know, I didn't really understand the perversion that went on behind the scenes and the energy. But a lot of those men in the strip clubs they're misogynistic, okay? So they want women to serve them. Strippers, yes, disassociated, exactly. Strippers, okay? Strippers are coming from different backgrounds where they are forced to pay for themselves. Okay, they're forced. All right, they're Gina. There you go, Gina. You understand 100%. They're forced to work for themselves, and they're forced to take control, and they cannot work on like McDonald's or whatever. It's not enough money, so they figure out immediately. Now they learn this because they come from families where their sex and their molestation is traded for certain favors and behaviors. Because when you're molested at home, you are set up to go into the sex industry, all right? And the men can see the victim in you, and they can see the level of abuse that you're willing to take when you're in the strip clubs, all right? Oh, I'm sorry about your dad. I'm so sorry, honey. That just disappeared. I'm sorry about your dad. He was 71. I will say prayers for everybody who passed. I hate that everybody's passing. But I wanted you to understand, people that go into the strip club, the women are used as a muse for the men that have a whole bunch of hatred for women. Now, I have said this my entire life. I will get yelled at. People will write me in here. I'm going to get yelled at for the teachers. I don't give a fucking shit. I don't give a shit. My kids got their jobs in life by not going to your school system, okay? By making friends, by having their own abilities and their own strengths in their heads. And that's how I got my job. No one helped me build my business. No school, no nobody. All right? No, people in my life, but not teachers. Anyway, the men hate women when they go into strip clubs. Obviously, there's bachelor parties and fun things, but men that continue, they look at women as visual porn. Like, this is your porn, and this porn is going to fucking perform for me. The women who are strippers are strong. Very, very, very fucking strong. Okay? Very strong. And so strippers, no, they've been hit. They've been sexually abused in childhood on some level. Whether you are peeped at, grabbed, groped, raped, touched, it has happened to them because they go into the sex industry. That's actually kind of out there in the literature. So they pick boyfriends. 9 out of times, strippers pick abusive men because that's what happens. That's what happens, okay? So they get hit, smacked, kicked, beaten, cheated on, and they pay the bills. Strippers are notorious for dating broke people and paying all the bills. That's a stripper's life. Men will trick them, and strippers are looking to have a good relationship with men. They are also energetically taking the energy of these broken men in the club. It's a whole cycle. These men abuse, rape, and do all kinds of things in the clubs. Not all of them, don't come for me. But there are a lot of perverted abusers that go in to watch other women that look like their daughters, their children. Yeah, that's why everybody's got a shaved hoo-ha down there, because it's very pedophilic. Keep that in mind. So the men that go into these clubs have addictions. They cross boundaries. They watch other men get aroused by females. It's very sexual. They cross all kinds of boundaries. They harm and hurt people in their own lives, okay? So they are taking money from their families to go throw money. Don't you say a lot of, yes, I say a lot of gay men go into the strip clubs because I grew up in them. I'm sorry, I was there. I was there for 10 years. I don't care what they do. I wasn't gay. It wasn't sexual. That's what John used to say to me. Oh, I didn't go in there. I went in there to play pool. You're in denial and you're a fucking misogynist. All right. So anyway, having said that, mental patience, you may not be gay, but there are men in there that are, okay? So the women tend to be the ones that are taking the energy energetically, like an empath, the energy while they dance. They're using their physical energy to psychologically try to heal the men, okay? The men are looking for something, because who else pays someone to stick their hoo-ha in their face? Do you know this woman? Do you even know what's going on down there? Like, when I worked in the clubs in Toronto, they ate food while you danced on the table. I was like, man, how can you eat while looking at a woman you don't know who and what she... No, they did. They cooked up hamburgers and fries and chicken wings and shit. I would be like, yeah, no, I know John's delusional. Yeah, I was 14. I really didn't know. And so when men would pay me to be like in the clubs I worked in the all full nude clubs. Okay. I didn't just do bikini. John used to say, I only went into just topless, as if that's better. Playboy, Hustler, Cherry. Doesn't matter. Fully out and raw naked, slightly dressed up, put a pretty bow on it. It's all the same thing. It's all the same thing. You just think you're better because you're looking at Playboy and not looking at Hustler, okay? That's the only difference. You think because you don't look at all nude and you look at topless, you're not sexually gratifying yourself from what you're doing. If your intention is sexual and you're gratifying yourself at some point, it's the same thing as over here. It's just we're getting to the point quicker over here. That's all. Tiny dancing. No, it's true. I know, John lies all the time. Anyway, yeah, it's really funny, but it's just so you know, like, I literally, yeah, eating burgers, bro. I was like, they're fucking eating and women are up here. Like, it used to amaze me because I couldn't get past that. As a 14-year-old, like, I'm like, that's not hygienic. Like, ew. Anyway, they made a shit ton of money on food and booze and selling drugs. The bartenders were selling heroin, using the waitresses to drop the packets off all over the clubs. That's a whole thing. There's pimps in the clubs, managers for the girls in the clubs. I never went with the manager. I got in trouble all the time. They tried to get me, I guess pimp manager, whatever. And I'm like, nope, I work for myself. I said, I am not going to pay you while I'm doing the work. You're fucking crazy. You're not going to protect me. You ain't going to protect me. So, no. You know, whatever. You're just not going to protect me. So, absolutely the fuck not. But anyway, they had managers, they had pimps, they had doormen, they had waitresses, they had drug dealing going on. And the men in the clubs are coming from a position of using women as objects, which we know they're visual. I love it when men say, but we're visual. So are women. We don't want to look at your fucking ugly ass when you age either. So shut up with that. Oh, but women over this age are ugly. So are men. So there. Okay? Whatever you say applies right back to you. You say it about this, it replies right back to you. So the men in the clubs are coming from some kind of feminine wounding because they're not secure enough to go out and find women, okay? I'll tell you the TV story. I didn't have to suck dick for that. Not that I wouldn't have, I just didn't have to. Anyway, the men have a feminine, a mother wounding, and they're in the strip clubs. And the women in the strip clubs usually have both parents wounding because there's a mother that didn't protect them and a man that molested them, abused them, peeped on them, whatever it is, okay? Pimped them out, whatever. There's varying degrees, okay? And a lot of the men can't perform in the strip clubs because they do too many drugs, so they can't get it up. That's an actual thing. Secretly, I think they're gay. Yeah, secretly I think they're gay. I'm just saying from my experience. And from my men friends that used to come pick me up, my young men friends, they used to get hit on in the clubs. That's what I'm saying. So yeah, I used to have young men friends, male friends walk me home. My favorite story was I was in my first marriage. I'm not actually married to him. And my first husband, who would have been my boyfriend at the time, came to pick me up at the strip club and we went to get something to eat after. This is when I was working late at night. And he sat down at the table. This is how high he was. He sat down at the table and started telling me who he was fucking while I was at work. And this was me. I was like 17. And I said, this is what I allowed in my life. This is the family I came from that I didn't think that I had a right to say, get out and leave. That's a trauma bond, I understand. But I said to him, I can fucking hear you. Do you know who I am? And he said, yeah. And I said, oh, okay. And I still allowed this in my life. Strippers will do that. They will get punched, hit, beaten, kicked, stomped on, stolen from, abused, called whore. These men that meet you in a strip club will call you a whore. Okay, excuse me, gentlemen. I survived. I'm just saying. Excuse me, men in the strip clubs. You're calling my ass a whore. It's Miss Whore, like I used to say to John. I'm like, it's Miss Whore. Put an MS and a period, bitch. It's Miss Whore. What makes you better because you're participating, making you guilty? If you really don't like whores, take your ass out of the strip club and don't partake in it. Do not call a woman who is earning a living. Do not do that. Do not do that. And call them a whore or a whatever. Do not do that. Because you are in there, you are more culpable because you are the reason that these women know they can make a living because you go home and probably fuck your daughter or your son or whatever. Or beat your wife or take your money. You do all of that and do drugs and then go home and raise your kids. And you got the nerve to judge a stripper? No, no. No, no. Mm-mm. Yeah, I know. They don't exactly. They think they're so fucking proper. You did me a favor. That's what John used to say. I did you a favor by marrying you. Anyway, I put up with it was the point. So there's that. It won't be for much longer. But anyway, yeah, no, it's so wrong. They think they're better because they're the men, because they have the money. Dumbass, dumbass, we taking your money. Every time we look at you, we're looking at you. We got the fake face. It's like Christmas dinner with your family. You know, the family you married into with a bunch of skanks. And you're at Christmas dinner and you're like, Merry Christmas. You don't mean it. You just put on a fake face. It's Christmas fake face. Or it's business fake face. Or whatever fake face, right? It's when you go to jail or whatever and you got to talk to a cop. You don't want to talk to the cop. You don't even want to get pulled over. So what do? Hi. Fake face. The divorce update is I go into court at the end of October and it cost me another $7,000 and I have to go into court and somebody won't sign the divorce paper. So they're forcing me into court to sign the fucking divorce paper. To sign it. Not to split the property. To sign it. I don't understand. That's abuse. And then I can't get my money back because your dumbass isn't making any money. Yeah, he wants a trial, but I'm doing a bifurcation. No, he won't sign it. I'm a whore, but he won't sign it. I'm the whore that had 2 kids with him. But he won't sign it. I don't know what to say. He goes, no, a judge is going to do it. A judge is going to decide. He's trying to control it. I just want the paper signed. It's been 3 years. You need to sign the paper. I don't care what you do. I don't fucking care. So, yeah, still. And it's costing me a shit ton of money. I don't have it. So I have to work. This is what I have to do. I have to work. I know. I've tried. So what? Because the judge can force him to sign it. When you have a spouse that will not sign, I'm not talking about even splitting the property. I said the property is in holding, so nobody can sell it out from underneath the other person, which is great. But he could still sign the paper, and he's refusing. So the judge is going to either look at me or look at him. It's a no-fault state, so I can't imagine why the judge would force me to stay married like a slave. Okay, I can't imagine that, but I guess it could happen. Anyway, the judge will, I'll pay my lawyer to go in. The judge wrote a motion for a bifurcation, and the judge will say either, Miss Bella, you get your divorce, you have to sign it, and he will have to sign it there, or Miss Bella, for these reasons, you're not going to get your divorce. I'm not asking for anything. He's asking me for alimony. I'm a stripper. You get it? I'm being asked for alimony. 2 marriages that happened, okay? I'm being asked for alimony. I'm being asked. I'm being told I didn't do anything. I'm being asked to pay his bills till he dies because he did me a favor marrying him. That's according to him. Of course, he'll deny that tomorrow when he's sober. I don't fucking care. I don't fucking care. I'm just going to get the paper. Anyway, that's what you get when you meet a man in a strip club. This is exactly what you get. No, it's true. You have to pay to get the judge to do. I mean, I don't know. We waited, and my lawyer they don't want to go to court. Neither lawyer wants to go to court, but I don't know what to do. I want the paperwork signed so I'm separate. That's what I want in my life. It's not what he wants. It's what I fucking want. Yes. Yes, I am talking about John again. Yes, somebody asked me how the divorce. No, I don't believe John is ever sober. No, he wasn't sober in his first marriage. So, no, he feels he deserves everything because he's special and I'm nothing. He did me a favor. I did nothing. No, he wants a divorce. You don't call your wife a whore if you don't, you know. No, he has no young kids, no anything. He did move Jason, Kenna, and Lila and get them to sign a lease. And all, minus Lila, 2 of those bitches signed a lease, have not spoken to me since they moved in there. Don't call me, don't speak to me, don't let me see Lila, don't say happy birthday, well, they did say happy birthday, Kenna did, and Jason did. And that's it. They live in my house because someone has told them they're going to get my house, which is both of our houses, but has nothing to do with the kids. And yes, I'm pissed about it. And yes, I'm going to talk about it. But it doesn't matter because if you were smart, you would understand that since the house is up for the divorce and it's half mine and half John's, that I should have to sign the lease of the people that you got in the fucking house to try to stop me from fucking splitting the house because you're insistent. Yes, they're paying him rent. Yes, they are. He got them to sign a lease. It doesn't matter. Yeah, they turned against me. It's fine. I don't care. Keith is dead. I don't care. You're not really going to affect me. As long as you're alive on the planet, go live your life. You know, what can you say? As a parent, as long as you're alive, your kid's alive, that's okay. Your kid's alive. They have a chance to come and talk to you at one time. It's when they're dead they can't come back. So, yeah. I know, I don't know what to say. Anyway, that's a stripper's life. That's not an uncommon story. That's a stripper story. So when you're a stripper, you think that a man who, you know, presents himself one way, but you're pretty much a victim from your childhood. And if you haven't gone to therapy, I can't stress this enough. If you do not go to therapy to fix yourself, no, it doesn't hurt. Keith died. That hurts. Jason's alive on the planet. He's going to have a good life or a bad life. That's up to him. He's got the potential to do great. So that's it. You know, that's fine. You think I care? I don't. When you have to bury a child is what I care. Yeah, John has income. I know he wants to do that. Do strippers use poles? Yeah, strippers use poles. No, John's drinking was bad before Keith. It was bad all the way along. John's drinking was bad. That was a red flag. Red flag, ladies. When they throw up on you in the first month in the car. Hi, Bobby. I've been ranting. I got cut off once and I'm ranting again. Yeah, there's a lot of women whose sons are not talking to them. And here's what I say. This goes for Bobby. This goes for me. This goes for every other woman out there. If your children are not talking to you, but they're alive, you have a chance to rectify that relationship. So it's not really a negative. Maybe your child is, yeah, he threw up on me. I went to pick him up and he threw up on me. But I thought it was okay. I thought, you know, I didn't think anything of it. No, Ken is not a stripper. No, Ken is not a stripper. I mean, she could be, but she's not. No, she's a makeup artist. But when your kids don't talk to you, they have a chance to come to you because they're alive. Keith, I can't rectify that. He's dead. I can when I die, which hopefully, you know, comes sooner than later. But because if I live to be 100, I'm going to want to stab myself. Thank you, Jackie. Oh my gosh, overly generous. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. Yes, I'm forcing everything. I'm forcing. Um, I am forcing. See your son because of his wife. Yeah, see, there's all kinds of problems. As long as it's not your problem, you can step away. It doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Because as long as the kid's alive, your kid has a chance to speak to you, okay? Ken is just going after, but it's very disrespectful. After 10, 11 years, I've supported my kids and them, and so it's very, 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 very fucking disrespectful. Thank you so much, Jackie. Which Jackie is this? I can see this one. Which Jackie? Jackie J. I don't know which Jackie that is, but thank you so much, Jackie J. Yeah, it's such crap. It's such garbage. Keith, and even at the time that Keith died, he wasn't happy with me because he was under the impression of other things that were told to him. I found out from his friends that had nothing to do with what I was doing. So there is manipulation. I can't change any of that. I can only be the person I'm going to be and move forward. And I have a right to move forward. I don't have to stay married to you. I don't care about the rest of it. They're all living in the house, Monique. John moved them in and got them to sign a lease, and they all yepped it. Lila's living in Keith's room. Me and Paige drove by the house, and we both mentioned, look, there's makeup brushes in Keith's bedroom window. So there's makeup brushes in Keith's bedroom window. Lila's in there. Keith would probably like that, but her parents, my son and Kenna, they don't talk to me. They don't phone me. They don't check on me. They don't do anything. They don't do any of that. They all signed a lease with John because they believe that it's going to stop the judge from selling the house. Thinking is wrong because the house is half mine. So signing a fucking lease should be half my money too. And I should have had access to the lease to read it. So that's not going to hold up in court. Anyway, that's not my problem. I mean, unless the judge holds it up. I have no control anyway. I have no control. But I don't care. It's going to be ended at the end of this month. The paper will say I'm divorced. The paper will say I'm divorced. The paper will, yes, I do. The paper will say I'm divorced. You're not going to win that. I left you after 33 years. It's the year 35, but I left your ass. Why? Because it's all my fault? No, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. Yeah, I don't know if you can speak in court. I hope my lawyer speaks because none of them want to go to court. So I really hope my lawyer speaks because, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Well, the karma's fulfilled. Yeah, I don't care about the kids. Like, do what you got to do. Don't talk to me for the rest of my life. That's not my problem. I still have fun in my life. I don't give a shit. As I said, my son died. So the rest of you are least on the list with that. Because you're still alive. So you can choose to talk to me or not. I guess I'm going to sow what I reaped, I guess, in that instance. So maybe Jason doesn't like me and that's fine. Maybe Kenna doesn't like me and that's fine. I exclude Lila from all these conversations. But other than that, it doesn't matter. I know Lula's going nuts because she's not getting her way tonight. So getting back to tenants won't stop. Yeah, that's right. The judge, I hope the judge requires it. Yup. Yeah, I don't care if Jason comes around. That's up to him. I have no control. I don't talk. I don't give a shit. Till he was 18, I had to parent him. But John's real nice. Like I told you guys a story. I'm going to tell you the story. So here's the story. When Jason was 14, he's probably going to hate this story. I know, poor Lila. She's living with, yeah. Anyway, when Jason was 14, I'm telling this story because I get accused of it constantly. But anyway, Jason was 14 and he was behaving where I was afraid he was going to end up in adult jail when he hit adulthood. So I was trying to scare him straight. I made a mistake. Huge mistake. Anyway, I called his father and I said, I'm picking him up where I told him not to be. He's at this house. The kid's house was a drug dealer, okay? The kid is still a drug dealer in jail. But he's at that house. He's, Miss Bella, you up for dating? Never. I'll never fucking date again. I don't want a man around me. No offense to the men out there. I'm good. I got a vibrator. I don't need a man. I pay all my own bills. I need nothing, so I'm good. Thank you. No. No. I can't raise another child. Sorry. No. I hope to never be in the company of another wee vibrator. I hope to fucking never be in the company of ever living with another man again, or no. I hated being married, to tell you the truth. I got married, I had kids, but I hated it. What are you doing, Lou? Um, but yeah, no, I'm happy on my own. I mean, I could probably eat dinner and fuck someone, yeah, but I don't want them interjecting in my life. No, I'm good. No, I had a friend that was like, you don't want to get married, you don't want to do this. And I'm like, that's right, bitch. I don't. I don't need you for anything. You got to bring something, and you got to bring quietness. You can't be fucked up. You can't have head problems. I don't want to know about your fucking drug dealing, your bullshit. None of that shit around me. None of it. I don't want you telling me I shouldn't do something, questioning how I spend my money, what I eat, where I go in the middle of the night. Fucking, I don't care. I do get up at 2 a.m. and I leave, and I ain't fucking anybody. So no thanks. But anyway, my left us after 33 years. She hates me. Oh, see, I doubt your mom hates you. Wait, your mom. No, your mom probably loved you. Your dad probably caused a problem. I left after 33 years, and I didn't hate my kids. I hated what was in the house. I hated it. But having said that, I forget what I was saying. Oh my God, I totally went off topic. I had another rant. Oh, that's what I was saying. So just to give you an example, Jason was 14. This kid that he was hanging out with, I told the kid's mother, don't let my son in your house, because it's her house. I can't control if she leaves her doors unlocked, because the kids were doing drugs in there and shit. They were 14 and 15. And they were posting it online and stuff. And so the mom was like, I can't do anything about it. So I thought I told Jason not to go there. I told his dad, John was at home, drunk on the couch. I phoned him. I said, Jason's over there. I'm picking him up. Now, when Jason got in the car, he said something really shitty, right? So I thought, oh my God, I'm out of control with this kid and his father's not helping me. So I drove Jason to the police station. I was going to just walk him in there. Just going to walk him in there and like kind of scare him straight. Like, I'm taking you to the cops like this. Well, he fled out of the car. He ran. So some kid of a sergeant in the police station in Burbank, some adult, like 20-something boy, caught Jason and brought him back by the scruff of the neck and said, what's the problem? Because, he's obviously saw him flee out of my car. So I said, well, he's at this house. There's drug dealers over there. The house was actually dealing meth and this and that. The mom was dating a guy much younger, and it was like a meth house, and that kid's in jail now for drugs. That kid's still a bitch on drugs, still selling fentanyl all over the valley. All right, fine, whatever. I don't know if he's out or in or whatever, and I'm not saying names, but the kid's a fentanyl dealer. So, if you're a fentanyl dealer for money, you're pretty much Satan. You're pretty much an asshole. And he literally contacted my Jason in adulthood. This is the same kid that I tried to stop from being around my kid when he was 14. Gave my son fentanyl after his brother died so he could be fucking drugged. Thank God my Jason didn't die. No fucking joke. Anyway, when he was 14, he's in the cop station. And I don't know. It's okay. The bitch is in jail now. But anyway, I don't know what happened when the cop talked to Jason, but the police officer came out and said to me, okay, the cop said to me, where's his father? I said, drunk at home. He said, well, you might need to hit him with a phone book because it doesn't leave marks. And I'm like, yeah, I don't have a phone book. Like at this point, I don't have a phone book. Anyway, I don't know what happened with whatever went on. I guess Jason tried to sock the officer and said the cop hit him. I wasn't in there when the two were talking. I was just trying to scare my son straight. So the cop says he's going to take Jason to juvenile hall. So I phoned the kid's mother and I'm like, look what the fuck, I told you not to do this. She goes, he'll be out in a day. In my head, I'm like, you bitches, you think you know everything. So I called the warden. It was like a power struggle for my son's energy. So I phoned the warden and I said, put him in a younger cell and leave him in for more than a day because this drug dealer's mother, whatever. Anyhow, so Jason went to juvie for 2 days, and on Monday, I went to court. I stood up in front of the judge. I said, this is my fault. I was trying to scare him straight. The judge threatened to put me in contempt and lock my ass up for using the court system as a way of disciplining my son. That's truth. Oh my God, honey, I'm sorry. Aw, I'm so sorry your son died from that. The fentanyl, these fentanyl dealers should be locked up and have their fucking hands cut off. have the tongues pulled out of their head. I'm really sick of them. For money, for their fucking money, they're going to be a drug dealer. Really? You cool with that? Good. When your kid dies from your relatives selling them fentanyl, don't think it won't happen, because it does. I'm so sick of these people. But anyway, little Jace went into the juvenile hall. Everybody in town knows this one. So this week, John called me and told me, your son hates you because, did he get dope sick in jail? No, Jason was 14. He wasn't on drugs at that time. He was just around them. I don't know about the dealer. I'm talking years ago. Jason's 30. That's like 16 years ago. Anyway, I went to court. The judge threatened to throw me in jail for using the court system as a disciplinary for my kid. And so I asked the judge, how can I expunge Jason's record? So when Jason was 18, I wrote the whole thing up and wrote about all the good things he did, got it expunged from his record, took care of it like I said. Anyway, just to give you an example of the parenting, okay? Yeah, the pushers, I know. Well, that's why that poor woman's son has passed away twice with the Narcan and he slipped out of his body. That's how strong that shit is. It's not like it's, yeah, alcohol is horrible. It's not like, it's not even like heroin. It's way, way, way a problem. Thank you, Emily. Thank you for that. So long story short, to give you an idea of our marriage, yeah, they're duplicitous. Both, yeah, they're duplicitous. It's okay. What goes around comes around. Don't remember I didn't say that, bitch. What goes around comes around. Anyhow, John called me this week and said I'm responsible and Jason hates me for putting him in juvenile hall. We're talking 16 years later. He's screaming at me for that, saying this happened to him and it's your fault and just acknowledge your son hates you. That's conversation. And I still am polite to him and talk to him. That's what they do to me. See, John encourages his kids' bad behavior by befriending them. He's bringing this up this week. Tell me how much that son hates me. After my dead son died, he told me how much that son hated me for taking the kitchen table that I'm sitting at right now. Keith helped me move it in here, by the way. So, yeah. Yeah, I know what John's doing. It's okay. He's going to die a painful death of his own accord, of his own volition. Yeah, but that's what he says. And then he denies saying it. He's like, oh, I didn't say that. I'm like, bitch, I taped you. Bitch, I taped you. So, no, Jason has never thanked me. He blames me also, says it ruined his life. So he says he got beat up in jail or juvenile hall and whatever. I did ask the warden to put him in a smaller group. He was 14. I asked them to put him in with the 12-year-olds. I do not know what happened in there. I wasn't allowed to come in till the next day. I went in the next day. I talked to my son. I explained to him why I did what I did. His father came with me. We did what we could, and I went into court on Monday and got my son out of there. But I had to teach him a lesson. And you know what? He still became an addict. So there was still that issue. It still happened. And it was, whatever. But I did the best that I could to try to parent my child. I didn't really have a backup as far as their father, because their father thought I was out of control, and he's of the belief that you never do that. You never do that. I know he's abusive. I know what he is. I know what he is. That's why I'm divorcing the fucker. Anyway, I did my best to keep my son out of jail. He's never gone to adult jail. Funny fucking story. Funny story, okay? Well, I'm not going to tell that story, actually. John is, yeah, he's completely irresponsible. He turned the kids, and he always says, well, they don't like you. Why don't you just admit it? That's what he said this week. When Keith died, he said, Keith hated you, thought you were evil and a piece of shit. And you wouldn't buy me a car, and Keith hated you for that. My son was dead. I looked at my dead son on the ground, and that's what this bitch said to me. And I still fucking spend time with him. It's okay. So there's that. Yeah. But my son, literally was on a slab in the morgue. And that's what he said. I'm looking at my dead child. And he said, the pastor, the funeral. I mean, terrible. But I keep repeating it out loud because I will never back down from saying it, because that shit was said to me, okay? That shit was said. And thank God Kenna knows it. Deanna knows it. So it's funny that Kenna lives in my house with her boyfriend, i.e. my son, knowing what John thinks of her and has said about her, because don't think that man wanted that relationship to work out, because he did not. So it's very interesting. Anyway, they're good. They, I guess, deserve each other. I don't know. Yeah, the war of the ePath. Exactly. Yes, it's a problem. Took me a long time. But just this week, he told me how much Jason hated my guts. Before Keith died, just to let you know, when you're living with a toxic person, I had filed for divorce. We know this. Before Keith died, both my kids came up here and screamed at, John hates women, making them gay. They're really gay. They just don't want to stick it in a guy's butt. They want to stick it up your, I'm sorry, I'm so vulgar. They want to stick it up you, but they fucking hate you. So when they put it in you, they hate you. They hate their mother. John didn't like his mother. I mean, he says he did, but he didn't speak very nicely to his mother. Called her, screamed at her, and so that's a red flag, how they talk to their mother. And sometimes the mother's put in a position because, yeah, you can't win with an alcoholic. Well, I'm going to court. I'm going to win. I'm in court. I got to pay for it. But anyway, yeah, both my kids told me not to take their inheritance by divorcing their father. Now, who put that little thought in their head? Their father. Exactly. Yeah, of course. Of course. I know Kenna feels like she has no choice. I can't imagine why she would move in there. I've been called over there. I got called over there by John to break up a fight between Jason and Kenna. Hello? No. I mean, I went, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah, leaving him is a big wing. Damn it, you are vulgar, aren't I? I'm fucking vulgar bitch. Anyway, that's what happens. So you have to really watch. You have to watch. But here's what I will say. As long as my son is alive, okay? No, it was a horrific marriage. We had a horrific, he's not a master at anything because I left him. I told him when I got pregnant with Keith, I will fucking leave you one day. I wasn't going to leave my children. I could not fight him. If anybody asks, okay, if anybody asks why you don't leave a toxic marriage, I had young children and I was threatened. You're a hoe, you're a stripper, you know, you're a psychic, no judge will give you your kids, all of that shit. That was said to me. Before I left this time, it was said to me, I'm going to have the IRS. Bobby knows that whole conversation. We just went through it last week. Accusing me of IRS debt. Trust me, I've talked to my accountants. But they, yeah, they've been together like 11 years. But it's not a good relationship. So whatever's going on there. Anyway, not my business. But my point is, I said I would leave and I left. It never went out of my head. I wasn't going to leave my children, but if I had to do it again, ladies, if I had to do it again, I would say leave that person, even at the risk of losing your children, because you will get custody. We don't know that when we're young, but leave that person. Yeah, my happiness does matter, but it's never mattered to them. I mean, the only happiness I had was running, so that's why I'm so insistent on it, because it's the only thing I could get away with. Other than that, I got called a fucking whore all the time. Yes, I know when the parents died, but John had them convinced that he was leaving. He's still, if you read what he wrote, an offer, the only way he would sign the divorce paper is if I left him in the house till he died, if I gave half the business building to his son. You can't do that in a divorce. I get to separate now. What the hell? Anyway, yeah, it doesn't matter. I ruined my life being married, actually. And I wish I'd never met his family because they're a bunch. Jimmy, I liked. His daughter was really too much to handle. Everything out of her mouth was toxic and sick, and she's a sick bitch. And everything about that family was a problem. Yeah, I was codependent. Absolutely. I'm not anymore. So there's that. But anyhow, yeah, that's what happened. So I would say to young women out there, if you marry out of your age, you know I harp on this. If you marry out of your age range, okay, writing a will, not a divorce. I know, I sent it to Bobby. I'm like, check this out. What is this? And so my lawyer's like, don't agree to this. I'm like, no kidding. Like, duh. I would say leave sooner than later. Just because you're a stripper, do not carry the shame, because if a husband or boyfriend or baby daddy or whatever calls you a stripper or a hoe, they married you like that. What does that make them? Okay? Yeah, no, I know he's codependent. He needs my money to stay in the home. Bitch ass man. Did all the cocaine. Yeah, did all the cocaine, you bitch ass man. Where's your money from that? Oh, yeah, okay. Anyway, yeah, Xmas face. My Christmas face. Hi, happy to see you. Merry Christmas. When I want to go like this. Anyway, when you marry a sex worker, men out there, you married them. You have a perversion that you need to pay women in order to hold them hostage to pay attention to you. That's your problem. The sex worker is not illegal, at least stripping isn't, okay? Yeah, exactly. So when you call them a whore, you're the problem, all right? You're the problem. So remember, ladies, when you have kids, even if you are a whore, it's not against the law to be a whore, or whatever the definition of that is. You have a right to raise your kids no matter what your vagina does, okay? As long as it's with adults. Yeah, as long as it's with adults. You have a right to use your vagina and screw as many men as you want or not want, and that doesn't mean you should lose custody of your children, okay? That does not mean that. We have a thing in this country where we allow men to do whatever the fuck they want, and the woman cannot do it. Probably. Our exes probably are. It's like out of the I'm an asshole playbook. So I can screw as many men as you, and I'm just as valid. So you having a bunch of girlfriends, and me having a bunch of boyfriends, it doesn't say anything about my character. Sex is like a natural thing, okay? It's natural. I get to do what I want to do. Me being virginal is not reflective of anything good. It means I've been bullshitted by society. They always blame women. Oh my God, the Middle East. She's a fucking virgin. She's not a virgin anymore. Lock her ass up. Stone her to death. Her hair is showing. Kill her. What is that? Why are we not protesting that? Why? Why is it good to be a virgin? To me, it's dysfunctional to be a virgin. You can abstain from sex until you find the right person, but you're a virgin, so you never put your fingers in your body. You never put a tampon in there. You never use a vibrator. You never had an orgasm. Then you're not a virgin. Are you talking about just penetration between a man and a woman? What is wrong with that? What is wrong with that? What is wrong with that? Oh my God. I have such a problem with this. I have such a problem. So young ladies, if a man approaches you and he's decades older than you, he wants to control you. Because women, it's all by design. Oh my God. Callie, look, I've got to squint. Callie, you're right. It's all by design. That's what I was saying about Coolio. Ice-T, Tupac, Biggie Small, Snoop Dogg. By design, they are taking generations and generations of young men and women and forcing them into a lifestyle where they are enslaved themselves. They are enslaved by the lifestyle, right? Yeah, if a man's older than you, it's because women his own age won't date him, or they're aware of what his weaknesses are and they won't put up with that bullshit. So he can't pull one over on them because they're too intelligent and they've had too much life experience, okay? So, or if they have children your age, they want to fuck their kids. They're using you because they can't screw their daughter. And I really believe that. I'm sorry. Call me jaded, but I 100% believe that if a man brings a woman home that is his daughter's age or younger, or his son's age or younger, he wants to have sex and has pedophilic thinking. I believe adult pedophilic or whatever, if she's an adult. Obviously, she's an adult. I absolutely believe that, because you know what it sets you up for, young women? It sets you up to go into a household where they call you a whore. Immediately you're gaslit that it's your problem. No, it's daddy's problem. He's a fucking grown-ass man. He's lived double your years. And you're picking on the wife or the son or whoever, the younger person. Nah. It's the dude's problem. Put it right back on the man's thing. If the man's 40 and you're 20, the man has the problem. The man has the problem. Period. If the kids are the same age as you, he's setting you up to be attacked in that relationship. You will be attacked. You will be called a whore, a gold digger. Now, here's the interesting thing that a lawyer said to me. You got to have some gold for me to be digging it, right? And you're asking for alimony. You ain't got any gold because you didn't save any gold, so you didn't make enough gold to save it into your old age, okay? And you set your daughter up to triangulate. That's a you and your family problem, but young women don't know that. So you're a young woman and you're too dumb and you're needing some kind of security and this man presents it. It's a problem, okay? They don't take responsibility. They use things like, but I did love you. And here's the favorite. This was said to me all the time. But you were so mature. You were so mature for your age. Shut the fuck up. I was 20. I didn't know shit. I was on the street since I was 14. I knew how to not get murdered, okay? That's all I knew how to do. I knew how to bleach my hair, put my makeup on, and not get murdered, okay? I knew how to avoid, for the most part, getting attacked, all right? I knew how to feed myself, pay my own bills, drive a car. Those are the things I knew how to do. Anything else, I didn't know what to do. So when you tell me I'm so mature, you're lying. When you turn my kids against me, saying I'm a whore, you're awful because you are the whore. You are the instigator, and you are, say he drank his, that's right, he did drink his kids' inheritance. That's exactly right. It is disgusting. But they are the problem. So, ladies, oh, you have to know your worth, but here's the problem. If you're in the sex industry, you've come from abuse. Of course, John would say, not all the girls are abused. Some of them are going to college. Shut up, you idiot. You dumbass motherfucker. They're not going to college. They could be going to college. But they tell you dumb fucks that so that you pay them more money. So you think that they're intellectual, dummy. Some of them will go to school, that's true. They will. But they're not all dancing because they're going to college and going to medical school. What kind of a dumb... What are you trying to make me feel bad because I'm just up here stripping for no reason? Is that what you're trying to do? Because I don't feel bad. Anyway, here's a little story, okay? Here's a little... Yeah, college makes it all better. College doesn't make shit. It means you've been conned by the government. Your skill when you're 20 is your body, right? So use your body till your body wears out, save your money, and buy a business. Do whatever you like to do. Go into porn, don't go into porn, get a restaurant, go over here, make costumes. I mean, go into acting. These are all the things my stripper friends did. One is very famous costumer, one is a scream queen, one went into porn, and I did the psychic work, and another one did psychic work. So these are the things that, you know, like you could do, right? So, exactly. So here's the thing. The other day, oh, you guys all said about my eyebrows. Look, I do have PTSD. I had PTSD when I got married. I still do, but I'm peaceful. I got my eyebrows redone. That's why I don't have makeup on here. And I couldn't exercise a lot, but I did start training at the gym, and it's so fun, okay? So anyway, this is my touch-up, like a year and a half into it. She retouched it because that's part of it. So there you go. Anyway, the little girl, Jenny, yeah, the eyebrow tattoos. They'll calm down a bit, but she does a beautiful job. Jenny Rose, Brows by Jenny Rose on Instagram. She's super good. She's down in like mid Santa Monica, kind of Beverly Hills area. Little studio. She's darling. Okay. And so anyway, right? So Jenny, she does my brows, and she's telling me about the convention in Vegas where all the skincare girls go. I'm skincare people, right? No, it's not microblading. It's ombre powder brows. I don't do microblading. Microblading leaves, it's too thick into your skin, and it leaves scarring. This is ombre powder, which is more surface level tattooing, and it wears out within 2 years. You're not scarring your skin. I mean, you could scar your skin if you had someone stupid do it, but you're not scarring your skin. So anyway, I can't really wash them. You know, I couldn't put makeup on up here. I got to be very careful. Can't go in the water. Not supposed to sweat. You can henna your brows too. Absolutely. So yeah, she did a good job. I sent Bobby the picture when I came out of there. So anyhow, long story short, she's talking about going to Vegas and going to the convention with all the estheticians, right? All over. And so in Vegas, it's a huge convention. They have all the booths. You know how you've been to Vegas, they got all the booths, right? So they've got the microblading girls, the ombre girls, the skincare girls, the electrolysis girls, all the girls. She walks in a room. She's telling me the story, just to give you a John story on top of this. Jenny's telling me the story. She walks in to this room, and it's full of people, and they're doing the Brazilian bikini waxing, which you have to like lift your leg up. Like you literally, if you've had yourself, you have to put your leg backwards up against the wall so that your whole vajayjay is out there so they can do all of this, right? She said she walks in the convention and she goes in the room and all she sees is like 6 women's vaginas with their legs up. And she's like, oh my God, like in the middle of the hotel convention. And she goes, they're just fucking waxing them. And she's like, oh my God. And she's like, I've never seen anything like that. Oh, poor Jenny. She's like, I'm just here to do eyebrows. Anyway, she said, yes, no underwear, no G-strings in the middle of the convention. And she's like, what the fuck? Anyway, they closed it down because they're not supposed to do that, right? But these girls were like, look, here you go. Like that, here, wax it. And so these waxers were boom, boom, boom. And then, and then they were just doing random people. Like random people. Like, so I'm telling John the story. I'm like, oh, I forgot to tell you what Jenny said. Blah, 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 blah. Telling him. See, that's where I'm codependent. I'm used to talking to the man every day. Anyhow, first words out of his mouth. They must have been strippers. Is that a crack on me, John? Is that a fucking crack? Why must they have been strippers? Oh, they must have been. They must have been strippers. I'm like, because they're showing their snatches, they must have been strippers. And he goes, I wasn't like referencing you. I wasn't referencing you. I wasn't referencing you. Yes, bitch, you were. I caught you. He got really mad. He goes, just get over it. It's not that big a deal. Okay, buddy boy, every time you fucking mention something shitty about the mother of your children, me, and you try to make it that way about me, I'm going to call you, get in your face, and fucking annihilate you every time. That's been our marriage. I never back down. He was saying it about me. That's what he was saying. Yes. I don't know what lipstick I'm wearing. It's a MAC lipstick. So that was the story of that. That was what he tried to put on me this day and age. That's what he tried to do. 2 days ago. 2 days ago. No, I don't think Jenny didn't think they were strippers. Oh, so passive aggressive. So, and when we took the cancer, I brought this up too. When we took the cancer off his forehead, we didn't, the doctor did. He had to go see a doctor to, I wear Urban Decay eyeshadow. This is Vice and I wear Rockstar, so the purples. He is a bitch, isn't he? So John had skin cancer here, so they did surgery. So they had to, like make sure it was sewn up right and make sure the skin cancer was out. And they took a huge chunk. Anyway, it's a pretty nice job the plastic surgeon did. So when I took him to the office last February before his surgery for the surgeon to measure everything and do everything before surgery, like everything that they got to do, I'm wearing a mask. They remove all the pubic hair. They remove everything. And Jenny was like, oh my God, I'm just doing eyebrows. It was funny the way she said it. She's covering her eyes like this. I'm like, it's okay. They're not here, Jenny. They're not in the room here. I'm just with you. Anyway, so we went to the doctor for this cancer. And just to let you know, the doctor is a plastic surgeon that removes skin cancer on faces. So areas which will be public, which is different than if it's like on your leg or somewhere else, right? So anyway, I know too many hoo-haws on display. So anyway, we came out of the plastic surgeon's office. It was literally, no, I know, right? It was literally last February, end of January, February. So it was raining. I'm just wearing shoes. I'm wearing this probably the same outfit with a turtleneck over and a coat and, the mask. We get out of there and John goes, this is the shit I put up with. I wonder if the doctor thought you had plastic surgery. I said, gee, John, because my eyes were showing through the mask, so they look fake to you, do they? Yeah. You see? Do you see? He goes, so I brought it up again this week, and I said, you're such a fucking fuck for bringing that shit up and doing shit. And he goes, oh, no, plastic surgeons, they always wonder that. I go, why? No, John cannot dance. He's a white man. I said, why would your plastic surgeon dealing with your face cancer want to know if I had plastic surgery? I'll show you a picture of John. Right? That's the shit. It's just constantly thrown in my face. No, John, unlike your female family members who've had nose jobs and they look like eunuchs and they have troll faces, no, I've not touched my face. Like, he should go look at the women in his family before he even fucking comments. I'm sorry, that's mean, but it's true. Okay, it's true. He has the nerve to comment. It's so weird. Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, you are my therapist. You are definitely my fucking therapist. Abso-the-fuck-lutely. Anyway, yeah, no, you've seen John. He's on my Instagram. Okay, come here. Look, you're also Lulabelle's therapist. Look, I'm doing some taped videos tomorrow. I can't do them when I read clients. Look, Lou, look. Bobby's over there. Bobby got another kitty. Bobby got another kitty. You want one? She's like, no. Yeah, he likes to hurt me. I know John had plastic surgery, right? It's always like a mention. He brings it up. I'm going to tell a judge how much you spent on plastic surgery. Great. I don't drink and I didn't get a honeymoon. So yeah, and you bought cocaine. So we're even. Beat him with a flip-flop. I know. It's okay. We're getting it. I don't know why I rag on him. Sometimes I go crazy and this happens. But yeah, it was a lot of bullshit. It was a lot of bullshit. I know she's so big, right? She's so big. So big. But ladies, remember this. Maybe he did look at the ones in his family. Yeah, he does look at the ones in his family, including his daughter, who's had a shit ton of plastic surgery when she was fucking 20. No offense. Y'all don't know who she is, but she did, according to him and according to her. So why are you critiquing my fucking face? You know? Why are you critiquing me? I've not touched my nose. I did not get rid of my nose because it looked like your nose. My kids are embarrassed of their faces, but they look like me. So, you know, they wanted to look like John, which he's a good looking man, but, but don't critique my face, buddy boy. Don't critique it. Don't fucking critique it. Let's see. Stripper who in his eyes is no one yet. Yeah, well, that's what he said. He actually said that this week. I'm sorry. I'm not going to speak about him anymore. Liar, Sloan. He said that I would be nothing. He brought up my first husband and said, you took everything. You took everything. He's talking financially. You would have nothing if you were still with Doug. How do you know what I would have? I was 20. You don't know what I'd have. You don't know what I'd have. I could have married someone else. You don't know what I'd have. This is my face. I was born with this. John was in aerospace. He worked for the government, but if they knew how much he did and drank and stuff, I don't think he would have had his job, honestly. I can't believe they didn't fucking catch him. I can't believe it. I mean, I guess he was good at his job. I don't really know. I didn't really go there. He did have employees and people working for him. He is a hater. He's a hater. He's a hater. He'll throw a, yeah, maybe it is jealousy. It is, because my career was mine before I met him. He said the judge is going to make me give up my career. No, you can't get a psychic reading as Sloan if you're not Sloan. That would be fraud. And it's my name. He wanted me to give back my last name and told me I would have nothing if it weren't for him. Also, that he found me, I was sleeping on my friend's floor, and he saved me. Yeah, why would he compare him? He compare himself. I have no idea. I don't even know why he did that. I don't even know why he's mentioning Doug. I haven't been married for 36 years to him, so I don't understand what that is. I'm not sure what that is. I'm confused myself. But hold on, let me find this picture. I showed you all this picture, and I fell right into it. So I fell right in. I was trained, a very good friend. I'm a Leo, unfortunately, a triple Leo, loaded 12th house. No, I asked him if he had dementia. I am better off without him. I have peaceful. You will never. Oh, I don't want someone my own age. What the hell what are you talking about? No. I ain't dating again. Don't be stupid here. No offense. No. Thank you. Okay, wait, hold on. Wait. And asked her if I or anyone knew. Thank you for that. Wait, I don't know what. I have to reread that again. Thank you for that. Who is okay, that's Vivian. Thank you. Wait, got a reading. And she asked if I or anyone I know practice magic. I practice law of attraction system. Oh, yeah. Anything you do, her guides will tell her whatever you do. So anything you do to manipulate energy technically is magic, whether it's for good or bad. And understand, that's why I tell people, if you want money for somebody or love for somebody, you need to say, you would do the magic where you would say, I want abundance, But if you're manipulating, like I want to have a house and a car and marry Joe over there, that's manipulation, even if you feel it's in the person's best interest, okay? So even if you feel, so law of attraction is self-motivated. I want to attract this, I want to attract that, I want to do this, I want to do that. The way that you should do it is just say, I want to be totally abundant and in line with my purpose on earth through the Christ consciousness or God-centeredness. If you focus too much on, like I had a friend, okay? I had a friend, we had another mutual friend that broke up with her husband. And our mutual friend wanted her to stay married. So she did magic for these two to stay married. That's very manipulative and very controlling because it might not be in their best interest. We don't really know what's going on. We just know that we like them together, right? But we may not know what's going on with them. So this friend wishing them to stay together and doing magic is a manipulation. You can't manipulate energy without it coming back against you. Right. It's against someone's free will. So you have to be very careful. And it is a form of magic, actually. It's not negative. No one's saying you're out wishing, Sally falls off the roof or whatever. You're not doing that, right? So you're not doing that. Pray to God. Pray to do God's will. Exactly. That's actually how you do. I'm here to do God's will. Magic is dangerous if you accidentally word it. I'm not saying your intention is wrong, but if you do something that manifests against someone because you think it's better for them, that's your opinion, not necessarily them, right? So it's kind of it can be a very hard thing to understand the boundaries of that. Now, if you want abundance for yourself, I ask for good health for myself, good health for my Jason, good health for Lila, good health for Kenna, good wishes, and in God's prayer for them, for Bobby, for whoever. So, but I don't specifically wish, I wish them to get married. I wish them to have kids. I want them to do their free will the way they want to do it. I don't want to interject in that. That's not something I want to do. So, yeah. So there's, I'm looking for this picture. Suddenly it's been removed. Oh my God. Yeah, I don't understand. Hold on. I don't know where the picture went. The picture has to be somewhere around here. Where's the picture? That's so weird. I don't know where my picture is. But that's how I'm not close to my son. We know this. My son doesn't talk to me. And my other son's dead. So I didn't do a very good job if that's what you're getting at. But I'm okay with it. I can't change it. It's done. If you don't like me, you don't like me. I'm not going to waste my time worrying about it. That's not my problem. That's between him and his God and what he thinks. I probably wasn't right for him. So it's fine. Can you only manifest for yourself? Well, why do you want to control what someone else does when they're not ready to do it? If they wanted to manifest for themselves, they would. Just because they want something really badly, right? You can ask God to protect them and pray, yes. But if you're saying, I want Sally to marry that man and have 6 kids with him, that might not be the intention, right? You know what I mean? So anyway, here's the pictures. I got yelled at for posting these pictures because John said I look too young on the left one. Okay, so this is 35 years in between. 1987 and 2022, right there. I've already showed this picture to y'all. Right there. You see that? Right there. That's the picture. You asked to see? That's it. Right there, y'all. Okay, we've seen it. I don't know if I was a good parent. Because if you are in a relationship where you are in a toxic relationship with somebody that you have to call a douchebag every single day because they say something fucking sick he said I look too young for him. He gets mad when he sees what he looks like in the pictures. Anyway, I can't help that. I can't fucking help that. And he says it was different when I dated him because he was younger at 40. But he doesn't realize, he told me to date someone 10 years younger. I said, John, you were 46 when we started having kids or getting married or whatever. And you wouldn't date someone 10 years older than you. So what are you even fucking talking about, asshole? Anyhow, it's just asshole conversation. Anyway, if you're in a toxic relationship and you're putting your kids in the middle of a very violent, hateful situation, which is what our marriage was. Not all the time, but it was very, 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 the kids were subjected to verbal violence daily. Keith used to cover his head. Paige used to tell me. And Keith wouldn't go out. Him and Paige would stay home to make sure that everything was okay in the house with the fighting. That was a problem. I didn't know about that. Paige told me after that. Paige told me everything, and I'm very appreciative because it makes me really realize that just because you love someone, I was too young for him, and he set me up in his family to be a fucking asshole because I was so desperate for male attention. Don't be desperate for male attention. You don't need male attention. Don't be desperate for it. Don't get married. Don't look at a man for money. I wanted kids, but you don't have to get married to have kids. But I damaged my kids. So perhaps Jason doesn't like me for that reason, and that's fine. Maybe John is a psychopath. Maybe he is. Don't be thirsty. Don't be thirsty. You don't need anybody. You have to develop yourself. But here's the most important thing. It's not even about that. You can fall in love with men and you can think the marriage is going to go well. And you can think it's going to be better when you marry them, even though, they throw up on you in the first month that you date them and then they blame you for that. There's someone poisoning their drink. Meanwhile, they're a fucking alcoholic who drinks too much and throws up in public. Huge alcoholic, right? I don't know if he needed a pill to get it up. I have no idea. I never saw it, so I have no idea. But here's the important, don't talk to the troll. I mean, talk to whoever you want. That's a troll. Here's the important thing to understand. If you come from an abusive childhood, if you're in the sex industry, you probably did. If you ran away from home when you were younger, you probably did, okay? So if you're 13, 14, and 15 and you ran away from home, your household is abusive. When people go, why did you run away from home? John likes to say, I ran away because I wanted, to meet my first husband and I wanted to do. No. There was abuse going on. Don't you ever comment on that. I'm public with it. I was public with it then. I took them to court. Anyway, if you come from that in childhood, you really, really, really need to go to therapy for yourself before you even date. At 14, I thought I solved the problem because I left the abusers. I left the alcohol and I left the abuse, okay? So I thought, logically, I saved myself, which I did. But the trauma was stored in every element of my body because I allowed a man to hit me. I'm not talking about John. I'm talking about my first husband. I allowed all kinds of things to happen to me without saying, you know what? Jason doesn't have to honor his mother. If he thinks I'm a piece of shit, it's fine. I don't know what he thinks. I haven't talked to him, so I don't know. But whatever my son feels about me, he's entitled to it. He doesn't have to honor me if he feels that I abused him in some way. I'm not like that. You don't honor parents if they abuse you. I know what the Bible says, but if you have some toxic ass parent, you're not supposed to honor them. So he'll either come around or he won't. That's on him, not me. I don't really care. It's whatever it is. It's whatever it is. I'll bury John. I took care of him after Keith died. I will bury him. I mean, I could send him to his daughter. Maybe she'd like to bury him. Maybe she knows what he'd like to be buried in since she knows what he likes to wear to bed. That's what she bought for me when I was 22. Stupid bitch. Anyway, maybe she knows what he likes to wear in the coffin. Maybe she could help us out with that. Bitch, do you know what daddy likes to wear in the coffin? Is that what you know? Anyhow, what's because of the shots? I don't know what's because of the shots. Maybe she'll dress daddy for maybe she can jump in there with him. Maybe she could do that. Yeah, exactly. No, I loved it when she had a miscarriage after her brother died, and she had a miscarriage, which was unfortunate. The kid was full-born baby, so John's granddaughter died at birth. Yeah, a stillborn birth, which was very sad. But what I found so interesting is she called her father and asked her father if he would dig his son up so she could put her baby in the coffin with her brother. That was interesting. I don't even know no, it was horrible. That's a horrible thing. But I don't think, I don't know. John was just so upset by the call. I just remember it back then. She did what? What? She called and asked, can we dig up Jimmy? No, we cannot dig him up. He's already in the ground. No. No. Yeah, She wanted to put her baby, who doesn't belong to her brother because he's dead. Yeah, it's weird. That's the kind of weird shit in their family. They're fucking weird. That's what I'm saying. And then, after asking her father to do that, she never invited him to take the ashes out to sea. She invited everybody else but him. So she's kind of fucked up too. Yeah, so I don't know. Isn't that wild? No, I'm not digging up. That's why I will not. Yeah, put John in lingerie. Put John in the garter belt, stockings, and bra you bought for me to wear to bed with him since he liked it so much. Do that. I'm terrible. I'm sorry. Okay, stop. Not weird enough for me? Yeah, okay, whatever. Serious. This is the family I fucking Rocky Horror him. I'm sorry, this just struck me as funny. Because here's the problem. In truth, there's something wrong with me too. Because I can't let go of it. I told her back then, I told John when I was 22, I will fuck her up one day. And you know what? He said to me, you better watch it. You're going to be sued. No, I'm being sued by the dead woman's husband in Washington, whom I didn't know. I'm being sued by him. But you can't really sue me for telling stories that actually happened to me. You can't sue me for that. Everybody and their cousin knows it happens. Yes, I'm going to go to Canada. I am going to go to Canada. I was trying, you know, I'm sorry, this just struck me as really funny. Of course he watches this. Anyway, I don't care. You know what? You're mad. You're mad that when you tortured me, I got suicidal, the hair fell out of my head, and I ended up sick my kid's entire life because of the stress and the trauma from being in a relationship with you. That's what I feel, and I contributed. You're mad now that I have a platform and a voice and people listen to me. Not my problem. If you didn't think I was going to retaliate, I'm not that nice a person. I'm always going to come back and speak what happened, just like with my parents. I'm sorry that you don't like that you were fucking weird. Don't be weird. Don't be weird. And you did shit and I left home at 14 and you wanted to blame me. Don't be weird, okay? I'm going to speak it. I spoke it as a 14-year-old. I spoke it as a 13-year-old. I talked about the sexual abuse in my house starting at the age of 10. That's when I started running away. My family chose not to listen to me. They chose to say I was adopted and missing chromosomes and therefore crazy. That's what they do to gaslight. That's why people end up on the street as prostitutes. That's why people end up as strippers. That's why people end up selling their feet pics on OnlyFans and showing their hoochies. That's why they do it. Not that it's a bad thing. There's beautiful young women out there. But at a certain point, the women need to deal. No, that's what my mother said. I was missing a chromosome. For real. She would call me down. I think that's a way of calling me Down syndrome. I'm not clear on it. When I asked her for the medical records to prove that, she said they burnt down in the doctor's office. Yeah. So you see, it was very interesting. But when you're adopted, you don't need. So don't be weird. I'm always going to speak it. If family members don't like me speaking about what happened to me, the reason I had to leave my home at 13 turning 14 and leave a marriage after 33 years, leave a family that I tolerated, okay? No, don't have another tolerated, all right? All of that. Then don't say shit that I can repeat. If you want to protect yourself, learn how to speak properly. Everything I'm saying out here could go into court, can go anywhere. You can put it anywhere you want because it's true. It's true. It happened to me. So don't you be weird and think I'm not going to talk about your abuse. That's the problem. We all need to talk about the abuse that we go through in this life. That's what we need to talk about. So we need to talk about the truth, not what they want us to talk about, which is what they want to direct the narrative. Okay? You know what? My adopted family, I have no idea. I'm not really clear on what they were or were not. I'm so not clear. But yeah, they were, could very well be. I'm not quite clear on a lot of things with it. So, were they wealthy? Yes. Did they work in pharmaceuticals? Yes. Did they have high positions? Yes. My grandfather was high up in the pharmaceutical industry. So there was could very well be. Yeah. Your mom's the same, Bobby. Your mom is the same. Bobby and I charts are very similar too, right? But I know people get sick of my stories, however, after, for all you women out there who've lost a child and lived in a relationship with a horrible human being, okay? Meaning where you don't get along with them. Maybe it's your fault. Maybe it's all my fault. I'll take full blame then if you want me to, but I really doubt that I'm fully responsible. But when you have a son that dies and you're treated like that, you have to learn how to not to destroy yourself. So I am forever grateful for people listening to me because I thought I was going to die when Keith died. I thought I was going to fucking die. Okay? I thought I was going to die when my child died. I have never experienced anything like that. And if it not for every single one of you helping me, and I mean every single one, every single person that wrote me any kind of thing, sent something to Lila, sent something to Kenneth, sent something to Jason, helped baby Jack, helped with Keith's burial, well, cremation, and his bench. You have no idea the focus for me as a mother to be able to focus like that and to have help was extraordinary. An extraordinary kindness. And I have to believe it's because of Keith's energy, honestly, because Keith was a good soul. So anytime in this life when we can help people in our immediate environment, however we know them, whether it's the lady at the coffee shop, the lady on TikTok, whatever it is, we can help them with that. And I have not forgotten that. So I am absolutely helping people step by step in my personal life. Because of the help that you generated for me, I am now doing that privately and in my personal life with people. So if someone needs something, I'll make sure I'm there to give it to them. You know, that's what I'm trying to do on behalf of Keith and I, because I don't know what else to do, actually. So my thinking is that if I hadn't had this channel, I might have just literally died. I couldn't really read. Like, I was pretty fucked up in the head. And it was horrendous. And then to experience the kind of horrible, horrible, horrible abuse, and I am calling it that after Keith died, to have that happen to me and to be spoken to that way and threatened, basically, and to watch my other son spiral out of control was pretty damn hard. But it happens to a lot of people. Happens to a lot of people. I am not the only one. I am not even one of like, there's probably got to be millions on the planet that have this shit happen, have it happen publicly, have it happen privately, but they have to be able to speak about it. So we have to be able to speak about it. Oh my God, I'm a better person because of you guys. You have no idea. You know, I would love to be adopted. You have no idea. This is just the amount, I mean, unbelievable. Because for so many people, what was the story? And I remember her name, Tina, who said her father kicked her mother out and she never saw her mother again when she wanted to divorce. What the hell is that? Poor family and kids. If the mother had had a support group, she would have got differing opinions. So that if you get differing opinions, you can expand and open up your mind, right? So that's what I learned. I learned that there's so many people out there that can help you. And by the way, my friends, Keith's friends, mothers, people, Keith's friends, you can really tell there are some lovely people who stood up and helped, really stood up and helped. So we are so lucky. I mean, as a family, we are definitely lucky. You have no idea. See, you wish your mother was like me, but my kids wish for any other mother but me, okay? So it's just, it just depends who you get. Yeah, well, that's up to Jason. I'm here. Remember this as a parent. Bobby knows this. Bobby and I have talked about this. Deanna and I have talked about this. A parent has unconditional love for their children. So we are going to love our children. That is the definition of unconditional love. Just because it's not going my way and I'm not having the relationship that I want with my son does not mean that I do not love my son. That's called unconditional love. There's nothing my son can do that does not mean I will not love him under any circumstances whatsoever. That is the definition of unconditional love. To be there for your children, regardless, okay? Regardless. Now, speaking of that, totally switching topics in a weird way. What the fuck is with the Jeffrey Dahmer documentaries? Why are we not talking about every single person that Jeffrey Dahmer killed? Why are we talking about him? We know that he was demon possessed in the military on some level and drank himself and let the entities into him and was a basic demon who had to eat human beings. But why? I know they can't write anything, right? Why aren't we talking? Why aren't we doing a documentary on every single young man or woman? I don't think there were any women. Yeah, because they love the serial killer thing. That's part of it. Why are they not, speaking of other people's children, okay? Other people's children, why are they not doing the documentary and letting us know who those people are? Because those are the important people. Jeffrey Dahmer, although born into a physical body, was not human because human beings don't do that. That's where we get, being gay didn't cause that. There's lots of people whose parents don't approve of being gay. What they do is tattoo their eyeliner on, wear women's underwear and go fuck men in bars. Whatever. What he did is not a gay thing, okay? That is not a gay thing. That is a demon possession. That is an alcoholic that's so far removed from their body with a mother who was a secretary for the military, I believe, and who had mental illness through the military, I believe. Right. So he's an experiment. He's an experiment. Having said that, that's not his fault. Having said that, I want to hear about the people that fell into his trap and were murdered. I want to hear their stories. I want to hear the unconditional love for the children that those parents had, because each and every one of those parents had unconditional love for their children, whether they went out to have random sex with some weirdo or not, okay? Because they definitely didn't think they were going to get killed. So those parents, why am I not doing that? No, I don't want to channel Jeffrey Dahmer. Serial killers are not in their body. They're actually removed from the physical body. And that's what I'm saying, his victims. That's what I'm talking about, his victims. I don't want to call them victims. They were trapped. They were ensnared into a trap. That's what I want to do. I don't know who Ryan Murphy is, but that's what I want to do. I want to know who those people are. I know who Jeffrey Dahmer is. He was a dysfunctional, demonic entity that entered into a physical carcass that had left its body because its mother probably gave it up for an experiment for money, okay, in a military exchange or whatever. So I want to know what happened to the people that chose to go home with Jeff. I want to talk about them. That's what I want to talk about. I don't want to hear about him. I know what he did. So doing a boring ass movie like that, boo, we don't like it. We don't like it. We want to know about the families, where they are today, how they handled it, because it's a very real thing. They have several things to deal with. Oh, thank you for that, Starshine. Thank you. Yeah, they deserve to be sad and heard. But I'm wondering, where their lives went, how many of them crashed, how many of them became abdicates, how many of them, I was very interested in listening to the young woman that was 17 that tried to save the young boy that was 13, and nobody listened to her. So the police were complicit and chaos causing. They didn't listen to her. I was very interested in her story. She apparently died in 2009 or 2011, somewhere in there. Anyway, she was like 59 too. So, I mean, I just want to hear about them. I want to know everything about their lives. I want to know who they were, and I want to know about how their families handled it, because this is a real thing. People go missing every day. People get Jeffrey Dahmer movie, but don't watch it because the police are always biased. The police, not every, obviously Officer Stacy, not biased, and there are some. Exactly. Charles Manson's mother, did they sell him out to the military for money? It's a prostitution of the children to be used as weapons. All of these mass killers are that. They're white. They're pasty-faced. They're on psych meds. They pull out a gun. It's part of the agenda. They're used as weapons. They're mind-controlled and used as weapons. That's just really what I say. Human beings don't do that. Having said that, there's a lot of people that are on this earth in carcasses that are not human beings. Okay? Yes, it's very bad. There's non-human entities running around. So we should petition that. We got so much to petition on this planet. All right, you guys, because I'm crazy and wasted all my time, I will talk to you all. Exactly. Every single mass murdering person has a demonic entity in it. They are not people. in the human beings. They are beings, but what kind of being? And we don't teach that in religion. We don't teach that. We are all, no, we're not all non-human. Human being is the existence of the Christ consciousness or consciousness form for the human. Beings, not all of them have it. So there's a difference. Human being is a very specific, very one kind of energy type of thing. People who do what Jeffrey Dahmer did are not human beings. Okay? So they're not. They're just not. Yes. Eileen Warnes was interesting. She was more of a really, really fucked up, abused prostitute. And then probably had entities in her because that was a problem. Okay, you guys. Good night. Thank you for listening. I'm not going off like that. Oh, wait. One thing to show you. Okay, my little Maya's having the baby shower next Saturday, and she wants us to dress Mexican fiesta. Me and Deanna spent a whole week looking, and they're very boxy clothing. I can't do it, but I can do the belt and the flowers. And look, I found this. Isn't this cute? Look, it goes off like this, off the shoulders, and it's the mermaid skirt, and it's from Fashion Nova, and it's slinky and tight in a stretchy material. And then I'm going to put the belt and put the flowers around me with the scarf and the heels. That's what I found, y'all, for Maya's little baby shower. So cute. Fashion Nova, and then dress it up with the Mexican fiesta, the belt that they make and all of that. That's what I'm going to do, because I can't wear the whole boxy thing, and some of the materials are just cotton, and they're not going to be like stretchy. I got to stick my booty in something that stretches. Okay, bye, you guys. It's so cute. It's Fashion Nova. It was like $24. So I just looked at Mexican fiesta dresses, and then I looked on Fashion Nova, and I found something. And I'm getting a yellow one too, so I don't know if I'm going to wear the yellow. The yellow was like $15. So that's it. And I'm going to dress it up. Yes, and wear the platform shoes. Of course I will. But they're orange. So colorful. That's what I'm doing. That's how she wants us to dress. I'm not sure what Paige wants me to wear to her baby shower. I got to start shopping for that one too. First it's Maya's, then it's Paige's. And they're all themed. So it's themed baby showers. Okay, good night, y'all. Bye.